In 2006, Mike Judge directed Idiocracy, a movie that predicted what life would be like hundreds of years from now based on the exponential growth of consumerism and commercialism. Thanks to a recent series of patent applications by Ford Motor Company, the future is now. While there are many things Americans are divided over, I think two things we can all agree on are that drivers are not nearly distracted enough already, and that the average American does not see nearly enough advertisements every day. But don't worry, Ford is about to fix all that. I am Dr. John Padfield. I'm a business professor and a former Indiana state representative, and this is Business Reform, where we discuss issues at the intersection of business, technology, and society. The engineers at Ford have been busy lately, and Ford has applied for many U.S. patents over the past few years. In this video, I want to briefly discuss 3 of them to let you know what Ford is working on. In a patent application in May 2021, Ford described, quote, billboard interfaces for vehicle displays. According to the patent application, the system would use cameras to read billboards as you drive past them, then generate a billboard interface which would appear on a vehicle display for presentation to the driver. The patent application goes on to state that the interface could also include audio to be played over the vehicle speakers. In all fairness, I can see some advantage to this because it can be difficult to catch an address or a phone number from a billboard as you drive by. But I can only imagine how distracting it will be when the vehicle display is flashing like a strobe light, showing each new billboard you pass at 70 miles per hour. Another patent application, published in April 2023, is called Automotive Glass Display, and it describes Ford's better idea for displaying electronic ads on car windows. Because again, other drivers don't have nearly enough distractions already. I know we all see countless advertisements while driving from billboards and signage on the vehicles we pass, but do we all really need yet another source of distraction? Especially after dark when Ford's new window advertisements would probably be the most visible. Then there is Ford's patent application that was just published last week on August 29, 2024, which is entitled In-Vehicle Advertisement Presentation System and Methods. Ford's better idea for this system is to display ads on your vehicle display. Excuse me, I said that wrong. The idea is to display ads on their vehicle display that you paid for but don't actually own in the traditional sense of the word own. I will be doing a video on the deterioration of the concept of ownership in the near future. But for now, let's get back to the totally non-creepy algorithm that Ford describes in this patent application to pick the ads that you will be shown while driving to any given destination. Ford's patent application begins by stating, quote, advertisements can be presented to users in their vehicles through various means. For example, some advertisements can be presented visually and/or audibly using an in-vehicle infotainment system or other similar human-machine interface. Advertisements can be presented through voice or audio systems in a vehicle. A user's preferences for advertisements can also be influenced by driving conditions or other context. I wonder what would happen if the driver's preference was no advertisements. Ford's algorithm starts by predicting where you are going, as this will play a role in how many ads you will be shown. The algorithm then predicts your route because whether you are likely to be on the freeway or city streets will also impact the number of ads you are shown. Then, quote, the controller can determine the user presence from in-cabin cameras, voice signatures, and other means. When a particular user is identified, the number and/or type of ads can be tailored to the specific preferences of the users identified as being occupants in the vehicle. When multiple individuals are identified, the vehicle can present ads based on the preferences of each user. So this system will not only know how many people are in the vehicle at any given time, but it will also know who those individuals are by using cameras, microphones, and, quote, other means, which is probably just a code phrase, meaning that it's going to be pulling data off of the cell phones of everyone that's in the vehicle. But wait, there's more. The controller may monitor user dialogue to detect when individuals are in a conversation. The number of ads may be intrusive if the individuals are engrossed in conversation. So they're going to listen in on people's conversations to avoid being intrusive. However, when the individuals are not in conversation, the number of ads presented can be increased. Of course, this makes perfect sense. Absolutely nobody wants a few minutes of quiet to think. When people aren't talking, that is a clear indication that they want to hear advertisements. Thus, the level of interaction or conversation can be measured by detecting overlapping or frequent speech from individuals, and this data can be used to increase or decrease ad delivery numbers. I wonder if the system recognizes the occupants of the vehicle are married and there's not enough conversation, if the advertisements will be for marriage counseling. As you might have guessed from my tone throughout the course of this video, I am not a big fan of any of these ideas that Ford is trying to patent. Most people are bombarded with advertisements literally from the moment they get up until the moment they go to bed. We need a break. Some people may argue this is nothing new. We have heard radio ads in our cars for decades. We've seen billboards in our cars for decades. We see signs on trucks that we pass. We've seen those for decades. Some people may argue this is nothing new, and they're right. But if the pipes under your bathroom sink started leaking, would it make sense to intentionally overflow the bathtub because the bathroom floor is already wet? What do you think? Is this just a new way for Ford to make money selling ads to a captive audience in a vehicle that they paid for? Does it bother you that car makers plan to identify all the occupants in a car and to monitor their conversations? Do you think they will only use that information for delivering ads, or do you think that additional data will be collected and sold to data brokers? I would love to hear your thoughts about all of this in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing and share a link with a friend. And as always, thank you for watching.